In this episode, we're talking jump backs. Now, in case you've been living in a cave for the past 7 years, or if this is your very first visit to DJTV, jump backs are royalty-free, network quality, seamlessly looping background animations from Digital Juice. Although you may naturally think of them as, well, backgrounds, in this episode, we're going to talk about using them for just about everything but backgrounds. Since the very first time I stepped on the stage at NAB in 2000, I've been saying that the true magic of Digital Juice animations is the ability to use them as elements in your own custom creations, and jump backs are ideal for this. So sit back, relax, and take 5 as we explore 5 creative ways to use jump backs. Tip number 1, fill her up, using jump backs to fill text. Sometimes you just want a little motion in your message. Maybe add a twinkle to your text. One quick, cool way to do that is to fill that text with an animating jump back. While you can do this by creating a black and white text mat and using a simple Luma key, if we get creative, we can take this effect to a whole new level. Our goal is to create a frosted texture effect for our font so it looks like it pops out off the background. We'll start with text that we created in After Effects, but you could just as easily make this in your editing application, Adobe Illustrator, or Photoshop. Whatever you prefer, as long as you can create text with an alpha channel. In After Effects, we'll double stack our jump back on layers 1 and 2 of the timeline and place our text on layer 3. Under Modes for the Layer 2 animation, select Alpha Matte from the Track Matte options. At this time, the text will appear to disappear, but don't worry, it's still there. Now, with Layer 2 selected, choose a blur from your effects menu to blur the jump back that shows through the text. With Layer 2 still selected, go to your effects menu and under Color Correction, select Levels to tweak the brightness of the image a bit. We can add a shadow to our blurred text by selecting layers 2 and 3 and choosing Pre-Compose from the Layers menu. Next, select your pre-composition in your timeline and go to your effects menu and under Perspective, apply a drop shadow. We can even colorize the background for yet another custom look. This is a cool effect that you'll find lots of uses for. I love the way the textures seem to move through my text here. Tip number 2, it's fine to combine, using 2 or more jump backs to create your own custom combinations. There are tons of ways to combine jump backs to create your own new, completely custom backgrounds. One simple way is to simply stack 2 or more jump backs on your editing timeline. Then use your crop or wipe tool to trim away the parts of the background on the upper layer, revealing parts of the other background on the lower layer. Remember, you can also use other tips we've talked about, like colorizing, to further customize your new background. Another cool way to combine jump backs is to use the mats from the Editor's Toolkit libraries. Stack your jump backs on the editing timeline with the mat, and use a Track Matte key to apply one of the jump backs to the white part of the mat and the other jump back in the black part of the mat. Experiment with your keyer settings here and have some fun. You'll come up with some cool results. To learn how to set up the key in your specific editing app, check out the handy tutorial section of digitaljuice.com. Okay, really quick, one more fun way to combine 2 jump backs is with one stacked on top of the other in your timeline. Adjust the opacity of the one on the top layer, or use a luminance key on it to reveal the parts of the background in the lower track. This is fun, and after some experimenting, can yield some pretty cool results. Tip number 3, slice and dice, using a portion of a jump back to create useful elements. The Jump Backs library is the product line that Digital Juice was founded upon. Hundreds and hundreds of network quality, seamlessly looping background animations for just pennies per background. Back in the day, many of us started slicing and dicing jump backs to create lower thirds, overlay elements, text highlighters, and such. Juice thought, hey, if people are using jump backs to make this stuff, they must want this stuff. This is where the idea for the Editor's Toolkits, motion design elements, and all of the element libraries came from. The cool thing is, just because all these elements are now designed and delivered by Juice, doesn't mean you can't stop making your own custom elements. In fact, we encourage it. One way to do this is to take a jump back and use a shape wipe from your editing app to wipe out part of the background and make a custom lower third or custom overlays to anchor text, both that perfectly match your background. To do this, simply lay the jump back on the timeline over a video clip. Choose a wipe from your editing application that has an interesting angle or shape to it. Then apply that shape wipe to the jump back. Stretch the wipe to the full duration of the animation and set the start and end points to the same value so the wipe doesn't really wipe, it just sits there to create a quick and easy custom overlay. Juice delivers high-quality elements that are ready to use right off the discs, but the real magic happens when you start mixing, matching, slicing, and dicing, basically putting your creative juices to work. So experiment and have fun. Tip number 4, project it, projecting jump backs on surfaces for cool effects. Projectors are getting cheaper to buy and are super cheap to rent, so get one and experiment with projecting jump backs on anything and everything. Now, we've already discussed using projected jump backs as an alternative to green screen keys in an episode of Production Notes. So what you can do is project a jump backs animation on the wall or cloth behind your talent for a cool interview background. Hooking it up is easy. Just basically load in a jump back into Windows Media Player or QuickTime, set it to loop, and hook the output to your projector. Perry gives you all the details on how to set this up in episode number 103 of Production Notes. But don't stop with projecting backgrounds behind your talent. You can project jump backs onto all kinds of different things. For instance, try projecting a jump back texture on your talent's face for a dramatic, stylistic look, onto the back of a bald head maybe, or on a number of different props or products. With jump backs and a projector, a creative producer can come up with countless possibilities. I can't wait to hear stories of places that you've projected jump backs. Tip number 5, freeze frame, using jump backs in print production. While jump backs aren't necessarily built for print, you can definitely grab a frame of an SD or, even better yet, a high-definition jump back and use it to print disc labels, packaging wraps, handouts, really any kind of printed piece you need to keep a consistent look with your video production. Just export a frame, paste it, and print it. Okay, let's recap. Tip number 1, fill her up. Tip number 2, it's fine to combine. Tip number 3, slice and dice. Tip number 4, project it. And tip number 5, freeze frame. I can't tell you how important it is to experiment with jump backs, or any of the Juice libraries really. Take an hour here or there and just play. Not when you're on deadline, not when you're working on a project, but just sit down and try something new. You'll be amazed at how much you can do with a library like jump backs and a little imagination. Until next time, don't forget to balance work and play, and every once in a while, stop and take 5.